Hello everyone, it's Sean from Sean's Toy Room, and I'm here today to do the unboxing of that carry case and the placement of these figures on what I've come to term as the figure display shelf. So this will probably be the Toy Room's filming location for the time being, having got everything else arranged over there. So, since it is the filming of since it's the opening of the display case, we'll put it in place on the shelf first, open it up, and see what's inside. All right, here we go. So there is the case. Bring it down a bit. There you go, now it's centered. So now we'll see what's inside, because it does have figures. I can feel them. So let's hope nothing falls out. Oh, I might. Well, you don't want it to look quite like that. Let's see if we can get the card backs and accessories out of the way and set the figures up in a better manner here. Now remember, I might already have some of these figures. Well, we'll find out. Look at this. A Data without the second season piping, but he has it on the cuffs. Even though Q in the season 3 Star Trek uniform does not. Very interesting. Come on. There. Good. Kaylar can stand there. So, there is what is in the case. That's the thumbnail. All right. So, you have Season 2. Oh, no, actually, he's Season 3 Riker. You can tell because he doesn't have the red striping, although somehow his uniform is all ripped up. Didn't even get that way from the Borg, so I don't know how that happened. You have Picard in his jacket look, which I'm sure he had in Darmok as well. You have Data in his Season 3 look with opening access panels both at his... Sorry, I had to sneeze. Back. And his right forearm. There. And he has a holster for his tricorder. Now, I'm sure he has a tricorder, probably in the accessory section. This is Q. Captain Q, of course, there he is. It's interesting, he has a red stripe on his uniform collar, but Riker does not. Nor does Data. Or if you can, can't really see it. And of course you have Counselor Troi in her red burgundy outfit. See her here. Does her head turn? Yes. There we go. You don't quite stand evenly, do they? There. And then you have Kaylar. I think this is her holodeck combat uniform where she was fighting against Worf. Don't fall over now, come on. There we go. Now, let's see what else we've got in here. We have a captain's log. Good, all right. Then we get card backs, or info cards. So you have Counselor Troi. You have the Borg, even though the Borg figure wasn't in there. You have Picard. Good, that's good. Get it? Picard. Ha, I couldn't help it. You've got Kaylar. That's good. You've got an Admiral McCoy info card. Now, I have a childhood Admiral McCoy figure, so I'm going to set that aside so it can put it with it, because I didn't save the card back at the time. You have a Geordi card, but you don't have a Geordi figure in this lot. Here's a Riker card. There is a Data card. And Beverly, well, we don't have her in this lot, so I have to set her aside. There is Q. And Locutus. Again, you don't have Locutus. But you also have segmented figure layouts from the card backs. So that's 5 figures there. That is approximately 21 or 22, maybe even 23. These are the ones I have from the 90s once I find them. This is a slightly smaller card back. Okay, so those are those 3, and then I guess we have to sort out the accessories, so I'll be back when I've done that. They didn't save the part of the card back that would have shown the accessories that came with it. I mean, with each figure. Luckily, we have all the bases for each figure, including the one for Kalar. So if I can arrange the figures on the base properly, they will stand evenly. And you have all the accessories. Now, you see, you have 2 different desktop units here. I don't know which one would go with Picard. I mean, there's an away team bag, there's a gold tricorder, there's a medical kit. That's going to take a bit of time to sort through, but hopefully the card backs I keep will help with that. In the meantime, though, I will put the figures on their bases at least. We can go that far. One picture with them in front of the open case. And I'll get one picture with them in front of the closed case. Unless you think that some of them would fit on their stands, even in the upper level, but no, they'd risk falling down. Okay. Don't worry, I save card backs, and I'm sure I have duplicates of most of these figures, so that will suffice. Alright, so here we go. If I can nudge the figures together properly, I can get it so that most of the... Now, the weird thing is, of course, Troy is wearing a different uniform. Okay. So there's the first 3 in front of the collector case. Don't worry, the picture will be cropped later. And then you have the other figures, like so. There you are. So that's the opening of the case. And now I have to set up a spot for those figures to stand while I sort through what else I bought on the weekend. Just give me a few moments to do that, and I will be right back. Well, it only took about 10 seconds, so. This is my first Vintage Playmates playset. It is the Working Lights and Sound Generations Enterprise D with its box. And you can see the back here, so you see some of the panels blow out, the warp engines light up. It fits on a stand like the Enterprise B. It has the Generation style stand. So that's good, and it shows all the layout of the ship. It shows that. There's the Generation symbol. So you can also get the engineering playset. And look, I have most, if not all, of those Generations figures by now. Yeah, I think I do have most of them. Requires 3 AA batteries, not included. Okay, so that is that. Now we move on to the other figures I bought, the carded ones. Some of them are only $10 each. Since we're on a next generation theme, I found the All Good Things Captain Beverly Picard to go with the other figure I managed to get, which was Geordi. Now, that should mean that I have all 6 across different toy lines, All Good Things figures. And I'm sure this isn't going to be their final resting spot, but once I get these die-cast cars out of here, I'll be able to put them, the rest of the figures I buy on top of there. Until I dig out my loose figures, take that 3-level display stand, and use it for the loose figures. But for now, I can set them up here since this is a childhood/teenage toy line shelf. So let's see what else is next. So the next figure, well, let's see if there's anything else from Star Trek The Next Generation, shall we? Here we go, a Benzite figure. You can tell it's only $10. It's from, that's hard to read, 1993, I think. So put that there. Let's hope it stays good. It stays upright. Although I do wish they had made the entire bubble flush with the card, but trying to get it off the card without being damaged, I can understand why they didn't do that. Now, Data was about $20, although you can tell the original price back in the 90s was only $4.58. There's his comm badge, there's his dress uniform, there are his display tools, and I remember how you saw a purple Enterprise D thing in there. There's all his medals and his tricorder, so stay upright, good. And the last one from Next Generation, one I'm pretty sure I didn't have before, Ensign Ro Laren. You can see her here. Again, she was only $20. You can see the flea market price is over top of the original label. You can see the card back there. I have a carded Sarek. Keep him on his card for a very long time. 1995. But still on a Star Trek Next Generation card back, so that's important. But look, 3 different versions, 92, 93, no doubt, or 94, and 95. Look at that. But all showing the Enterprise D. Each one makes the deflector dish more accurate. Okay, good. So what's next? What's next is something from, in the generic Star Trek line from 1995. This is Catherine Pulaski from Season 2. You see her piping, you see her card. She's only $10 as well, so there she goes. And don't fall over. Good, thank you. Then you get into Deep Space Nine. Again, something I did not have. Look, KB Toys, $7.99. It's only $20 now in this year. A Mt-Cmdr figure. That's from Star Trek DS9. Now that is another figure, this one from 1996. And you can see the cross cells there of the various figures, including the All Good Things Riker, Tapestry Picard, Yesterday's Enterprise. Good, all right. So there, and there should be one more figure. And that is a figure I'm sure I didn't already have, which is Tom Paris from Voyager. Now his bubble is a bit damaged, but again, he's only $10. This was from 1995. Yes, and there's the cross-sell of the Voyager figures. So that's in 95 and 96 is when they still did figures with the individual ships and the individual series. So he can't stay upright, but there is the new updated version of all the figures. And as you see, there are still a few figures on the floor here. Let's see if I can put them on that shelf, since there is still some room for them to sit in front. Good. These are from DS9, although that's miles from Next Generation. Major Kira. That's Barkley, yep. Anything else in DS9? No? Oh, okay. Remember how I had a loose Q figure? Well, now you have something for John Delancey to sign. The carded Q figure. That'll make sure I don't open them. Especially if I have it personalized. That's how I reassure the actors. And there you go. Barkley. And now this may not be the duplicate. It isn't. This is the Loxana Troy figure. So hopefully she fits here. Ah, she's going to try to fall over. All right, down she goes. Oh, she's going to try to fall over. There. There she is. Okay. Now I have an entire box of carded Star Trek figures over there. Maybe some Star Trek figures in here, but at least I found the Visionaries. The Visionaries used to fit on the white shelf, which is now a model supply shelf behind the picture. So those are mostly Visionaries. And now, which one of these two is my childhood Decepticon figure? Well, it's the one without an intact antenna. It's the one with the Decepticon emblem intact. It's the one with the yellow on here. Yeah. And, oh, look. This belongs to a Star Trek figure. Now, which one? I'd have to check the card back for sure. Visionary staffs are in there. Motu Origins, okay. Now, Star Trek figures are in here somewhere. For instance, the Spock. There's Admiral Kirk. My childhood transport truck. Motu Origins again. And Motu Origins once more. Now, my goal is to take these cars, put them on the windowsill right here, out of the way, and that will clear up the entire top of this shelving unit to either put, well, to put loose Star Trek figures as they are unboxed. Once I get that, that's a bit of rearrangement that's going to happen over the time. Yes. And that bagged Terminator figure, which I also bought this weekend. Well, there is the spot for him up here. Now let's do this without knocking anything over. There, good. Good. All right, now we're getting there. Now we're getting somewhere. And of course you have Harry Kim, the Motu Origins mostly, the reaction Star Trek figures whose joints don't bend except at the shoulders, the infamous 1701, but as you can see, I have number 6355 because that's when they released more of them. So a couple, like this one will stay carded. And you got Voyager. So, you know, this is the general layout of the toy room as it stands now. And as you see, you now have a quasi-review station. And the Star Trek shelf is like front and center all by itself, with a bit of Star Wars underneath. Couldn't be helped. And the Rathacon 40 years right in front, so that's good. And of course there are a few more Star Trek figures here. A Borg figure, and Beverly Crusher, and Quark from DS9. And the two 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith figures, so you have Commander Cody, and you have Count Dooku. Yeah, and Starcom is all set up there. This is mostly Motu Origins and Star Wars 40 Years, Star Trek 2009. Oh, yes, I bought this at GameStop. Transformers and Motu have joined forces. Now let me get a better picture without that price tag in the way. There you go, a picture that can be cropped. The Transformers Motu. Probably part of the Origins line, didn't even know it existed. And there's the beautiful picture of on the back of Megatron Skeletor. So I'll put that right back where it came from, which was right up here. All right. You know, with the Transformers, the movie behind it, as you can see here. Good. And you got the Motu. You got some random figures here. Now, don't worry about the Star Wars on there. Once I find the figures that fit that, then they'll go on there. It's just a placeholder for now. So things are still being sorted bit by bit. My childhood ET figure. Masters of the Universe lunchbox from my childhood 40 years ago. Space Shuttle Enterprise lunchbox and its thermos. A few models that didn't fit anywhere else. The All Good Things set up. Star Trek 2009. Yeah, so it's working slowly. The Star Trek Ships the Line calendar for 2026. The card back box is right here. This is what will help me match the accessories to the figures. You have First Contact, you have Star Trek Reaction, Star Wars, so the card back box will work. Here's all the remaining Ships of the Line calendars. Oh, wait a minute, that's a card back. It doesn't belong there. It belongs here. And this goes with the book, which is in here. That goes with the book.